Hey guys, here we are, my Accelerate program. All right, so let's just jump right into it. I'm going to give you an overview of the program. I'm going to show you how I got in shape physically and mentally by eliminating all excuses and obstacles. This is based in building discipline, building confidence, strengthening relationships, and specifically the spiritual aspect of it, strengthening my relationship with God. So, before the Accelerate method. Before the method, I had no consistency. I worked out, but it was not consistent, and I haven't addressed all of the mental issues going on. So the whole program is more mentally based, and the physical comes after that. I was addicted to vices, things like alcohol, anger, things consumed me. I didn't have control over my actions. I didn't have control over what I did. Had no consistency. Anger was a big vice. I was angry, and internally, I was mostly angry because I subconsciously knew I wasn't doing the things that I should be doing as a man. I was insecure and lacked confidence. Back in school, I would hide in the library during lunch so I wouldn't have to talk to anybody new. I was terrified of talking to people. I had anxiety. And again, it came from the fact that I knew I wasn't living up to the standard. After the Accelerate method, it was a gradual change. After the Accelerate method, I had permanent physical change. I was able to be consistent in my physical training. I was able to be consistent in eliminating all of my vices. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm I'm hitting my goals. I'm doing really well 99% of the time. Loving life, confident, just going throughout my day with confidence, knowing that I'm doing what I know I should be doing. I know that although I'm not perfect, I'm living a God-centered life and living up to the own high standards that I set for myself. Um, and it comes back to an abundance mindset, physically, mentally, and again, spiritually. The program, who is it for? If you feel like you're leaving a lot on the table, if you feel like you're going throughout the day and there's something missing, if you're tired of spinning your wheels because you haven't been able to build the discipline needed to succeed in all areas, like if you're floating through the world like a plastic bag stuck in the wind, you don't have any control over anything. The world controls your mind. This program is for you. If you're tired of not living up to your full potential physically and mentally, because your vices are holding you back, this is for you. That's going to be a big part of the program is letting go of those vices that are holding you back. If you're willing to make the time and put in the effort instead of making excuses, listen, we're all busy. We all have things to do. So we can't let our fitness, our mental health, our spiritual health fall to the background. Those things should be in the foreground. Then this program is for you. If you're genuinely seeking guidance instead of just looking for someone to do the work for you, I can't do the work for you. Only you can do the work for you. If you're willing to do that work, then this program is for you. Who is it not for? If you're not able to be accountable for yourself and follow simple, don't get me wrong, it's not easy. Staying consistent, doing hard things, it's not easy, but it is a relatively simple formula. If you can't follow a simple formula, then the program's not for you. If you are okay with having a scarcity mindset, being stressed, full of anxiety, don't mind living with your back against the wall, it is not for you. If you are extremely busy, quote, busy, going through the motions, and you can't make time to prioritize for self development, it's not for you. If you can't prepare ahead of time in order to guarantee success, meal prepping, planning when you're going to read your Bible, planning on when you're going to express gratitude, planning when you're doing your workouts, little planning. If you can't do that, then this isn't for you. If you're not ready to take massive action in order to take back control of your life, this is not for you. All right, so here is the truth about building discipline. This program is rooted in discipline. And here's the truth no one talks about. A lot of people out there don't understand these basic facts of reality. Is a deeper reason why you self sabotage if you're self sabotaging. And you need to rewire that subconscious mind, what you think about, what you invest in, what you spend your time on. You can't sustain healthy new habits until you get rid of those limiting beliefs that you've fallen back on in the past that are holding you back. And you need to know a little bit of math, fortunately. You need to know how to manipulate your daily caloric intake to optimize your energy levels of balance. And that's something that I'm going to help you do is find out what that ideal caloric intake is for you. Um, don't worry, I'm not going to let you self-sabotage. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the self-limiting beliefs and emotions that are the underlying reason of why you haven't been able to stick to a program, how to develop a strong self-worth that carries over into all aspects of life, how to get in the best shape of your life, how to create a life of abundance instead of a life of scarcity. Here's a brief backstory about me and how I got here. So it was a long series of events. I had a pretty great childhood. It was awesome, great family. In my early 20s, I went through some pretty devastating losses, job losses, um, big breakup. So that's when I really started getting into fitness and working out. But I didn't address the underlying emotions. So I was never able to stay consistent with a meal plan, never able to stay consistent with a workout, never able to overcome my vices at that point. So as a result, was very inconsistent nutrition, fitness, squeaked by in college, still didn't build that confidence, that discipline yet. I would start things, then I would quit once it got hard, and I based all of my self-worth on, a diploma, a piece of paper, achievements, rather than what God has already done for me. I look too much to the outside world. Um, Over time, I did the inner work. As I was doing the inner work, I suffered more devastating losses. Losing my father and losing my daughter was a big part of it. And at that time, one of the big things I turned to was God, looking God's purpose, God's promise for us, and Him being there for me. And one of the tools I used too was I spent a lot of time in the gym. It was a physical outlet to help with my grief, help with my pain, and that's actually when I started being very consistent and developed a passion for training and nutrition and fitness. Over the year of 2020, during COVID, the start of COVID in 2020 in March was the big turning point for me because that's when I decided I was not going to be a victim. I started working out every single day, not missing a day. I missed 26 days in the past 6 years, and I'll skip a day if I need to. I'm very sick. Otherwise, it's every single day. And it's the principle behind it. I show up for myself every single day. I show up and do what I need to do every single day, regardless of the circumstances. That's how I've been able to stay consistent. And I'm going to teach you how to do it too. So Accelerate is the system that I have based on that through my own experience, working with clients through personal training and online training, and then my mentors that I've been working at. So let's break it down. The framework, number one, is purpose. Oh, sorry. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Purpose. Our goals are based around our purpose. We have our habits, but even before our habits, we have our purpose, why we do them. That purpose has to be powerful in order to drive the habits, especially when the habits take you on the hard path, take you on the path of, being physically in shape, mentally in shape, being a good leader. We have to have a strong purpose behind it. And then the habits, the restructure comes afterwards. And that's around the outcome that we want, based around the purpose, who we want to be, and then accelerating beyond that, doing 1% more each day. That's phase three, accelerate. Now, let me show you how I optimize each phase and elevate it physically. Number one, identify who you want to become. What you do is only as good as why you do it. Like I said, you have to have that strong purpose behind what you're doing. This creates the foundation. Um, it solidifies your identity in who you are, and you have to feel like your life depends on it because it does. You only get one life. So decide what you want to be and follow that. Build those habits around it. We build our habits around the outcome that we want. So my habits, these are my main habits right here. I pray every morning. That is the foundation. It's giving the day up to God. It's being grateful for another day. So I give it up to Jesus every morning. That is the cornerstone of my day, even before the workouts. So that is key in my identity and who I am. Meal prepping and macro tracking, planning. It's all about planning. If you plan it out just one day and have those meals ready and know what your macros you're hitting, know what you're eating, then you're going to hit your goals. The meals, the eating, the macros, that's 80% of it. And then the workouts. We got to stay consistent with the workouts. I don't get too much into the details with the workouts because there's a million ways to do it right. As long as you're building muscle, you're going to be increasing your ability to burn fat and you're going to get in shape. So my workouts, my fitness program is centered around resistance training. And then of course you got to have some cardio function in there for heart health. Um, Preparing ahead of time, time blocking, making the time to do it, making it a priority. You can't take care of your family, your friends, everybody who's counting on you without taking care of yourself first. Acceleration is phase three. I feel like you're either moving forward or moving backward. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward because what we focus on expands and what we're not focused on falls to the bottom of the pile in life. If we're not focusing on something, it's getting pushed to the bottom of the priority deck. So we have to relentlessly pursue this character, this identity that we set in phase one through our habits. And it's a gradual process. Like I said, for me, it took the course of many years, many phases, over 10 years to go through all these phases. It took me a long time. You can actually do it faster if you know what you need to do through the program. We do this every day. This is an everyday thing for going through our habits. We have our non negotiables, our working out, how we act, how we treat people, our nutrition, what goes into our mouth. These are all our non negotiables. My prayer each day, Bible reading, is non negotiables for me. We're going to show you how to embody the characteristics of the person you want to become. It's not a fake it till you make it, it's do it so you become it. And show gratitude to the life that you want as if you were already there. We always find things to show gratitude in. And this isn't a temporary thing. It's not like you do it 90 days and you're done. Yeah, it's a 90-day program, but the principles are meant to stick with you, to create permanency through consistency. You're developing the habit, the skills of discipline. Discipline is a skill. So over the 90 days, you're going to build it so that it's sustainable. You're going to have compassion for yourself too. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to do really well, but there's going to be hiccups along the way, and you got to be okay with that and just move on from it. Focus on progress, not perfection. And then we're shedding our old patterns of scarcity mindset, our old beliefs, our own self-limiting habits, our own self-limiting behaviors. This in turn allows us to be unapologetic, live boldly, be proud of who we're building, and be proud knowing what God has done for us. Remember, growth is not a destination. Growing a little bit more every day, you've never truly made it. Reflect back on all you've done so far and where you're going, and just have faith that you're going to get there. Here's a couple results. The program is losing 20 or more pounds of fat and building muscle over the course of 90 days and changing the habits and discipline. So these are testimonials from a few of people that I've worked with. All right, so now that you understand how the process works, this is what I do. The program is primarily building discipline, the discipline you need to get those results, to lose that 20 pounds, to build muscle, to grow in your faith, to grow that mental fortitude, grow that confidence. So if you follow this blueprint, you will build discipline over 90 days. 90 days is enough time to do it. You're going to eliminate the self-limiting beliefs and actions, and you're going to look a lot better at the pool too. So the program consists of weekly or bi-weekly. It's your choice. If you want to meet weekly, we could do that. If you want to do bi-weekly, we could do that as well. We're going to check in. We're going to focus on not only the results you made, have you been following the program, but also the mindset. Where are you at mentally? If you're running into obstacles, like what do you think? What do you think about those? How can we overcome them together? If you're doing great, great. I'm going to encourage you. Let's keep it up. You're going to get a customized meal plan. It's going to be focused on macros. It's not going to be that limiting either. We can still work in a lot of the foods that you really enjoy, but maybe change the frequency or change the amount. So I'll work with you on that customized meal plan, workout blueprint. So I'm going to show you workouts that you can do based on your schedule and how much time you have allowed. If you if you have if you have a certain amount of time that you want to work out each day, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, we can tailor your workout blueprint based on that. And then tech support. I'm going to be here, tech support 24/7. I'll get back to you as soon as possible if you have any questions or need any motivation or anything like that. So I have my Instagram handle and my phone number on there for texting. So reach out anytime, guys. Let's do this.